Okay, I'm using scratch paper for this because this was the only copy I had and I did a horrible job explaining it. So I'm going to be using, you don't need a piece of scratch paper, just I'm going to do that. Okay, we're going to solve some problems using percentages in algebra. Now there's a couple ways to do it, but there's only kind of one way I like to do it, and that's using proportions, okay, with these percentages. So proportion, it's two ratios equal to one another. Okay, and it's called the percent proportion. So you want to write that down on your paper, If 20% of a school would go on a field trip, there would be 102 students remaining. How many students were there prior to the 20% leaving? Okay. All right, now 20% leaving is a decrease, so circle that and write decrease. So this is your percent ratio here, okay? It's always percent over 100%. Now 20% left, so you don't want to put 20 right here. I don't like to, okay? That's just me. What I like to do is go off this side and take 100% and minus 20 since it's going down. And that's 80%. Okay, now here's the other ratio. What's the label on this number? Students. So I'm going to put students. This is the percent ratio. This is the student ratio. Now the 102 goes on one of these, and X is going to go on the other. But here's a question you have to ask yourself. 100% is before, and then the percent above it is after. Okay, so just remember that. Were those 102 students, is that how many students you had before, or is that how many students you had after? Is that how many students you had at the beginning at the beginning before the 20% left, or is that how many you had after? Well, it says if 20% of a school goes on a field trip, there would be 100 students remaining. That's how many you have after the 20% leave. Okay? So, I'm going to put after right there. So if it's after, it needs to go on the top across from the 80. And X here. Then you can cross multiply and divide. So I take 102 times 102. You just find this product. Then you divide that product by 80. Okay. I got 127.5, so I'm just going to round it up to 128 because I can't really cut a student in half. So that's what we have here. Okay, next one. If a price of an item is raised 30%, the price is $129.93. How much was the price before the 30% was added on? Okay. Remember, we have our percent ratio. Remember, at raised 30%. So this time I need to take the 100% and add 30%. Okay, so 130. And once again, the 100% is always before, and then the percent above it is the after. Okay, after the 30% was added. It always goes like that. 100% is before, then it goes up 30 to 130, and that's the percent you ended up with or after. Okay, now we have money. Okay, now 129.93, is that before or after they raised it 30%? If the price of an item is raised 30%, the price is $129.93. So that, again, would have been after. So it belongs across from the 130. Okay, so again, I'm going to put after before. It's after. Okay, so 129.93 and X here on bottom. So again, you cross multiply. Divide by 130. 99.95. Okay, now the population of pandas has increased 15% in the past 15 years. If there were 27,500 pandas previously, that means before, previously, how many pandas are in existence today? Okay, so I got my percents, and I've got 100% here. And it says increase 15%, okay? So since it says increase, I take 100 and add 15%. That's 115%. Now remember, 100% is before, 115% is after. And it's same order over here. That's after, and that's before. They're the same thing. Okay, after, before, after, before. All right, and then the other label's pandas. So I'm going to put pandas, pandas. Okay, now 27,500. Is that how many pandas that they had before it increased 15% or after? Well, it says previously, so that's got to be before, okay? So that needs to go down to here under before. Okay, an X right here. Okay, so I take 115 times 27,500 and divide that by 100. And that's 31,625. Alright, and now again here, I'm going to turn this paper over because this is the template you want to use with percent changes, okay? Got your percent ratio, and remember, hundreds before, and the other percent's after. Sometimes you have to add, sometimes you have to subtract. You have to read what happened. Okay, and this is after, before, and that's where you're going to put that unit, and then the other one has X. That's all you need to use.